Good evening, my loves. Good evening. Oh, I'm so excited to be here tonight. I feel like it's been so long since we've connected, but it's only been since last week. Tonight's message is very personal. Very personal. I'm going to be sharing from my own personal journey. I know that a lot of what I teach is very encouraging, very inspirational, and it's from the place of where I am now. But tonight, we're actually going to go back and talk a little bit about how I actually got here. And you hear a lot of like radical self love. I mention that a lot. I'm going to tell you exactly what that means tonight. And I see my honey is there. Let me go ahead and get started. So, radical self love, because regular isn't enough. As I start every week, I like to tell you what my intention is for the lesson so you'll be crystal clear on what I'm trying to teach tonight. So my intention is to talk about why regular self-love just isn't enough to get you into a totally transformed life. That's your love, that's your life in general. And I'm going to share my path to radically loving myself, which is what prepared me to receive the love on a transformational level, the love that you see me sharing. And I'm doing this in hopes that it inspires you to start on your own path. So let's be very clear, right? What I'm not doing, I'm not telling you that this is the only path. I'm sharing what worked for me. And by all means, create your own path. But I'll say this, you're here. You're here because you value my opinion and my experience. So at a very minimum, I think you should listen openly and try to gain inspiration or insight to help you figure out your own way. And let me see. Okay, Brianna's checking in. One of my ladies from my membership, also part of my VIP Queen's Court. So my testimony, and you know what? Let me turn the music down a little bit because I want to make sure you guys can focus on what I'm saying. So I began my journey with outer work, right? I figured if I could change my outer appearance, I would be more confident. I would be, less susceptible to poor treatment or to accepting anything below my standards. So I really focused on what I looked like, losing weight, doing my hair, changing my wardrobe, everything about my outer, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me be very clear. But I started there because that's all the capacity I had. I was not in a space where I could dig deep and really do the inner work about my why. Why did I choose certain things? How did I get here? How did I allow this? I was not in a space where I could do that. I was just too deep in negativity, too deep into my pattern. I was fighting to find positivity. So it was so much easier for me to focus on the outer, right? When I grew completely tired of my circumstances, that's when I began to dig deeper. When I had really had enough and I couldn't make any more excuses and I couldn't hide the disappointment, I couldn't hide what I was dealing with. That's how I got to the point of taking my self-love to a radical level, right? Yeah, Bree says she started that way too, just the weight loss. And I mean, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's easy because weight loss is not easy. Changing your physical appearance isn't necessarily easy. However, you can get started, and because it's like an appearance thing, you see results, right? There's some tangible things that you can see. So it's a little bit more encouraging, which is why I understand why so many people start this way. However, let's talk about why regular self-love is just not enough. Just focusing on the outer, just like saying you love yourself, saying you have these standards. It's not enough, because I'm going to give you two reasons. There's many of them, but I'm going to focus on two of the main reasons that have the biggest impact in my opinion. Number one, regular self-love, it's just surface level, right? More often than not, it just gives you a good feeling, right? It makes it enables you to make yourself okay with where you are. So there's no real change happening, like no lasting change. There is change that just makes it more comfortable for you to stay where you are. So it's surface level, right? Surface level self-love. And the second thing is it distracts you. It distracts you while you're focusing on, the outer, the losing the weight, the getting your nails done, the going to the spa, the feeling physically good. It distracts you from doing the deeper work. Like, you'll have the illusion that you're feeling better. You'll have the illusion that things are improving, but you're really not doing the necessary work for real change. Yes, such a good point. It's easier than holding yourself accountable internally, for sure. So, as difficult as it can be to put the fork down, not eat the snacks, give yourself a workout regimen and stick to it, it's still easier than coming to terms with your own truths, right? Holding yourself accountable for your decisions and choices. Such a good point. And there's my honey. Great points. Thank you, baby. So let's talk about, you'll kind of hear me say this all the time. It's in my marketing, it's in a lot of my posts when I'm talking about like the pathway to transformational love. You're going to hear radical self-love, right? So let's start with, what is the definition of radical, right? So radical is an adjective, and it's especially of change or action relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something. It is far reaching or thorough, right? So again, remember what I said about regular self-love. It's surface level and it distracts you. When it's radical self-love, it's far reaching. It's thorough, right? It is affecting the fundamental nature of how you love yourself. And you all know I like to give you very clear pathways, very clear, distinct actions to take so that you can see improvement quickly. So I came up with an acronym for radical, and it literally details the path that I took moving from just regular self-love. Yes, I love myself, I'm doing things to care for myself, to radically loving myself, where I'm making real change. I'm addressing real things. So let's start with, I'm sorry. Oh, good point, Brianna. You will get stuck. You will hit a plateau. Absolutely. Because there's only but so much you can do, and you're going to have to change it up. You're going to have to dig deeper. So that's what we're doing when we're talking about radical self-love tonight. So let's start with the letter R. R is realization of your power. The easiest way to do this is to connect to your higher power. Connect to your creator. And this is going to lead to improved self-worth and deservingness, which is a foundational layer for you to be able to hold yourself accountable, for you to be able to have standards and uphold them. You have to realize your own power. A, You already know what A is. Accountability for your choices. Accountability is key to empowerment. When you are accountable, you are free from others' judgments and expectations because you are able to look at whatever your circumstance, whatever your choice, whatever your decision, and know that it was yours. This does not absolve anyone of fault or blame, even for their participation. It is just you saying, I don't focus on that. I focus on my power. I focus on my ability to choose and what comes from that. What lesson is there for me to learn? What should I take from this situation, even if it's not an ideal one? Even if it's not a situation I want to repeat or to continue, I take accountability for my choices so I can always find the positive in any scenario. D, this is where you take a deep dive into root causes. If you want real transformation in your life, especially when it comes to love, you have to dig deeper. Surface is not going to get you to the life you desire, the relationship you desire, the love you desire. You're going to have to go beneath the surface and get to those root causes and figure out what is connected to your choices. The why. Why did you make those choices? The why is going to connect all of your patterns. So if there's things in your life that you are continuing to experience, whether it's dating the same person over and over again, it's different people, but it's really the same person, right? You are deep diving. Where did this come from? Where did this attraction start? Why? Then my other word, intentionality, right? You are deciding to live intentionally. That means you're no longer going through life aimlessly, just accepting what happens to you. No, and you're no longer waiting for others to show up with what you need. You are intentionally living and making choices and decisions and loving yourself so that you attract the love you desire. You now know your decisions have a purpose. Nothing is just by chance or happenstance. It's all a result of intentionality. C, commitment to the new you. So after you have realized your power, you've decided to be accountable now for your choices, and you're doing a deep dive into why you chose these things. What's the connection? Then you're deciding to live intentionally. Everything has a purpose. Now you have an even deeper commitment to the new you. That means you're in total alignment with what you desire. You are not dependent on how others show up for you. You're committed to the new you. That means if you desire to be a healthier new you, you are committed to acting now like that new you. If you're committed to being in healthy relationships, you start that now. You behave like you are in one. You talk to yourself like you are in one. You treat yourself like you are in one. You are committed to the new you, not treating you like the old you. Literally, you've divorced the old you. The old you is gone. I'm spelling radical. Radical self-love. Yes, the new you. You said it. Healthy you. Absolutely. So after your commitment to the new you, A, you attract now. And that is actively drawing what you desire to yourself. You become a magnet for what you desire because you are intentionally making decisions and living. Your commitment to the new you means that you're in alignment. So now you are thinking, speaking, and acting in alignment with what you desire to attract. So it has to be attracted to you. What are Keisha, I will get to the questions after I complete through the lesson. There's time built in for that, but that's a great question. So I'll cover that when I finish, okay? I'll come back to it. And the final letter is L. Love, right? You have to become what it is you desire. So when it comes to love, you now experience the balance of give and receive. We always like to say, okay, love should be an action word. Yes, action on both sides. You need to know how to give love in a healthy way. And you also need to know how to receive love, because the people you're interacting with, they need that balance as well. So they need to receive love from you and they need to be able to give it. So there's a balance of love that happens when you begin to radically love yourself. I'm just really taking it in because I'm remembering when I first started kind of talking to my husband, and we were beginning to intentionally move towards love, right? And one of the things he said to me was, I love you like I love myself. And I had observed how he was loving himself. And by all accounts, it wasn't to the level I believed he should have for himself. And it certainly wasn't to the level that I desired. Now, normally, I would not have spoken up about that. I would have just taken that as a compliment and said, oh, that's so amazing. Like, he wants to love me like that. And I know what he means. But this time I actually spoke up and I said, if that's how you're going to love me, I don't want it. And I pointed out some things to him and he took it in. And later on, he actually thanked me for that because it allowed him to even focus on himself more and love on himself in a more robust way. So when it came time to love on me, I was happily ready to accept his love because he had completely leveled up how he was treating himself, how he was loving on himself. So of course now you can tell me you love me and you want the things for me that you want for yourself because I see how you're loving yourself. And that's a testament to how all of you can actually up-level your love experience. Don't just accept, the words that we've always wanted to hear. Let me see. That's powerful. Yeah, I mean, when I think about it, like, it literally stopped me in my tracks because I'm like, should I share this or not? But yes. See, and this is my husband, so let's see what he says. You truly did show love in speaking on it. It probably would have stayed at that surface level for way too long. So that is my husband confirming that me loving myself enough to say, I'm at this level and I'm not accepting anything beneath that. It needs to be here or better. I see the potential in you. I see that you're awesome. I know that we could have something great. However, the level in which you're loving yourself and you're telling me that that's what I'm going to get, nah, I can't accept that. And I would have been afraid to do that before I started loving myself this way. I would have been afraid to speak up that way. And look, it bettered us. It bettered him. It bettered our relationship. So it was the right thing to do. Can you go through the letters again? I cannot go through the thorough explanation of each letter, but I am going to do the recap of what it is in general. So just go back and watch the details, but I will tell what they are. Yes, baby. It was a real aha moment. So yes, let's do a quick recap of what the path to radical self-love is, what the parts are. So R is realization of your power. Okay, that's connecting with your source, your higher up, so you can know your own power. Accountability for your own choices, not placing blame and not waiting for someone else to show up with what you need. Taking a deep dive into your root causes, finding out the why, finding out how you got where you are, not surface level. I, intentionality, deciding to live intentionally, no longer going through life just accepting what is happening to you, but taking intentional action. C, the commitment to the new you. Commitment to the new you, divorcing the old you, the you that accepted less than, the you that was not confident, the you that did not love yourself deeply. Bye to that you. A commitment to the new you, showing up as the new you. A, now attracting. You are actively drawing what you desire to yourself because you are thinking, speaking, and acting in a way that aligns with what you desire to attract. And then L is love. But this is experiencing the balance of give and receive. So that is a total package of love. Now for Q&A, I'm going to go ahead and Keisha had a question before. What are some things, affirmations to say to this new you? Well, it depends on what the new you is, but I am statements is always a good place to start. I am confident. I am deserving of love. I am romantic. I am passionate. I am a magnet for love. So I am statements is a good way to start. And then also affirming what it is you actually desire to experience. So my life is full of romantic dates. My romantic relationship only adds to the love that I give myself. You know, like thinking about what it is you desire to experience and affirming that. Kalandra, that is incredible. I'm needing to do more to give myself this radical self-love. I thought this was a great time of year to talk about this lesson. I've had this lesson for a few weeks, but I thought right now, before we're going into like the Thanksgiving holiday, you're going to be around friends, family, loved ones, and sometimes that can be a real reminder of how you love yourself, right? What boundaries do you abandon? What things do you give in on? What traditions are you keeping? Are you keeping that no longer align with what you desire to experience? Like, what things have you just done to kind of go with, you know, the flow of things and what other people want, but they don't feel that loving to you? Now would be the time to take a look at those things and see where you can focus more on yourself, loving yourself. I am generous. That's great. I am generous. My dating experience will be positive, fun, and full of things I've never experienced. See, that's Bree. She's a part of my Queen's Court. She's one of my VIP ladies. They are advanced at the affirmations. They get right to it. You see, she didn't wait. So no, I didn't give an affirmation statement for each letter. I just gave more of an explanation. But the recap was pretty thorough. I would say just go back and listen to the first couple of minutes before you got on. Are there any other questions about any of the steps? Do any of you have any scenarios that you would specifically like some guidance on in regards to like how you can love yourself more, how you can, really embody radical self-love? I'm ready to drink my tea. Now my throat is itchy. My daughter has a little itchy throat now. I got it a little bit. But I'm healthy. My throat is clear. And if you all don't have any more questions, let me get to my coaching gem. The real self-love that will make a difference in your transformational journey is a combination of inner and outer work, but both are necessary. So let me be very clear. It's wonderful if you started getting mani-pedis and going to get massages and working out and learning about makeup and doing your hair, putting more effort into your outfits. That's awesome. I'm not saying that's not necessary. That is a piece. But what I am saying is the inner work, right? The discovering where your trauma started, discovering your why you have acted in certain ways, why you have decided to partner with certain people, why you stayed in certain relationships, doing the work there, journaling, finding a mentor, getting in a community of like-minded individuals where you can hold each other accountable, where you can learn different things. That is also very necessary for your journey if you want to see real transformation in your life. And there are a few more comments. Because I be feeling like everything I'm going through you dealt with. Probably. One thing I've learned is if you're attracted to like a teacher, a coach, a mentor, it is because you see yourself in them, right? So all of you that listen, that are in the love attraction community, that are in the membership, there is something that connected us, right? And a lot of it is, what I've healed from and what you're actively healing from. The trauma I've experienced that maybe you're going through or coming out of. That is what's connected us. If you couldn't see yourself in me, it would be harder for you to take advice from me or guidance from me. So that makes perfect sense, Bree. Okay, Bree. Radical self-love is accepting yourself, caring for yourself, and knowing you are more than enough and inherently worthy of love, respect, and compassion. That is a great way to put it, Brianna. Everything about what she stated is digging deeper. Radical self-love is going beyond the surface, right? It is getting to all of those nooks and crannies, because when you just deal with the surface level, eventually what's underneath comes up, and it's going to corrode and mess up anything that you have. So it behooves you to do the work to dig underneath the surface. Kalandra, another one of my VIP Queen's Court ladies in my membership. I've been challenged by intense feelings of loneliness. How do I override that while I'm creating a new relationship with myself? Well, first of all, know that you are not alone, right? No matter what facade people may put on, like, oh, I'm happy to be single. Like, yes, it's not to say that you can't be happy while you're single, but we were not meant to be alone. That's why even when people aren't in a relationship, they have pets, they have really close friends, they pick up hobbies so they can meet other people and spend time with them. We are designed to be in community, to be in relationship. So it is okay that you have feelings of loneliness. We all do. I think the key is to never let any particular feeling overwhelm you. So when you say intense feelings of loneliness, you need to change how you even talk about that. Because even classifying it that way is vibrating an energy of which you're only going to attract more of those feelings, right? So you see, as soon as I said, oh, my throat is itchy, I corrected myself. Nope, I feel completely healthy. My throat is clear. It's amazing. Like, because that quick, you could start to ruminate on the negativity, and it makes it harder for the positive to come and be the overwhelming feeling, which is what you want. So it's okay. I've had some feelings of loneliness, but you know what? It makes me think about where I do have community, where I do have friendship, where I do have support, and lean in on those areas. So I would recommend asking the ladies in the membership, what do they do? What do they do to deal with feelings of loneliness? There are people in there who are single still. Some dating, some not dating. But ask everyone, hey, what are you guys doing like on this process to deal with your feelings of loneliness? Right? So I would reach out for support that way. And you override the feelings by not giving so much attention to it, not giving strong language to it. And remember, you decide. You decide how you want to feel. So the feeling comes, fine, accept it, okay? And then you decide, no, I am loved. I have community. I have support. This is a fleeting feeling. It will not last. It does not stay. Love is on the way. I'm attracting relationships. I'm attracting friendships. I'm attracting companionship. That's what I would recommend, Kalandra. Yes, while self-love is just a surface, both are good. Radical is ideal. Absolutely. Self-love is good for the foundation. You can start there. Absolutely. See, Bree, good question. That means it's definitely something we can dig into deeper in the membership. One of you guys post it and we'll continue the conversation there. Yeah, Bree comes through. She has the good affirmations. So for those of you who might be having a difficult time coming up with affirmations, look through the comments. See if you can gain inspiration there. See, look at that. Your sister already showing up. Call me, girl, because I feel it. And we are never alone. Absolutely not. We have each other's back in there. Thank you. Of course. Of course. I'm always going to answer you all's questions. Yeah, thanks, Bree. Thanks for that. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and let you all go. Please remember, God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. Now, if you know that you are in a space where it is time for you to dig deeper, right? It's time for you to figure out what are the root causes to why you are where you are. Why are you attracting the type of relationships that you're attracting? If you know that you haven't been able to get out of your rut, get out of your negative cycle, it's time to do something differently. It's time to have a different level of guidance and support. And I just want to submit to you that I do have a membership community. And inside of that membership community, it is full of like-minded women and my husband. My husband is the other coach in there, and he gives us the male perspective, and he also shows up and supports the ladies as an example of how a man should support you. He leads us in prayer every week, and he teaches lessons on the male aspect. So if you are looking to go deeper, right? To get some guidance so you can change the trajectory of the love you're experiencing. Please take advantage. My membership community is open now. We have open enrollment, and there's actually an early bird deal. If you sign up by December 1st, you get a free month. So you're going to get 4 months for the price of 3. Just go to destinationdeanna.com, click on the top banner, and it'll give you all the information you need, exactly what's included in the membership, the investment, and the 2 levels, because I do have, the general Lord Lady level, and I have the VIP Queen's Court. And those are my ladies that also get one-on-one time with me, and they get real-time support via Boxer. So it's an awesome upgrade. So yes, we invite you, come on in. And remember, every Monday is a topic-based lesson. So I teach on a particular lesson, and then I give you the opportunity to ask questions, kind of submit your scenarios, and I give you live coaching right here. So tune in every Monday. It's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah, that's my standard time. And I see a couple of comments have come in, so I don't want to miss you guys. Let me go ahead. Oh, Shaka, I'm glad you tuned in. So yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in. Remember, God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. And I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I love you all.